X-ray. Good morning and welcome to X-ray in the Morning, the show of shows.
Yay!
Here's the latest weather report. Rain and cooler.
Time for news and commentary. I'm Jefferson Smith.
Good news, everyone!
Nerd alert! So what did we learn this morning?
I learned that there's a storm coming.
You did learn that.
It's like a bowl of grape nuts for your mind.
Sleepy, it's rainy, it's dark, but feeling good.
Is it dark today?
Yeah, it's dark. Set out rainy for freezing.
Yes. It's dark. It's freezing. It's frigid outside.
My tips in them.
Fingertips, I assume.
Yeah.
No, she was making a little like hand gesture, but you can't see it on the radio, so I thought I would clarify. Hannah, how are you this morning?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I've got my coffee. Am I DJ Sunshine for you today?
Do you want to
Was
switch?
this a hard week?
No. Anytime it's gray outside, it's a hard week for me. I had to recently admit to myself like how much the gray really affects me.
Yeah.
You know, when I sleep 12 hours a day, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, this is normal.
I
This is
definitely
because it's
am
gray
ready for
outside.
the spring and the oh God.
The
I was-
groundhog? Is
yeah,
that what we're talking about?
I was going to say the gopher. The gopher.
Is there really a difference? No, there is. I'm sorry. That was really
There is.
not to insult groundhogs anywhere. Yeah, I actually don't. I didn't really see what happened with the groundhog. Or is it?
And I am going to get it wrong. And I mean, text me if I get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure he didn't see his shadow. Whatever way, we're getting spring sooner. So the good
We
way.
are. Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, after a bunch of snow next week. Snow day, snow
And
day, snow
spring
day.
is- then spring is coming. Dang global warming.
Yeah.
What do you do on snow days? Like you personally?
Well, I hot toddy it. I
I like you just turned that into a
Sled.
verb.
yeah.
We're going
Um,
hot toddying, guys.
Except for now, I think they sent out a reminder that's like, we do not close. We don't close if PBS closes. We don't close if TriMet closes. We're not
Right.
closing, people. So
You could
it
just
was
be
like
like,
a stark reminder of like,
"Oops, I
no
never-"
snow day for you,
You're
grown
right.
up.
Well, maybe you could just you could sled to work, or you could cross country ski to work.
Yeah,
I mean, get your snow day in how you can.
definitely.
But yeah, we'll see more snow next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. 14 inches, 1 inch. What's this?
I was like 14 inches. Who's
That's what it said some places. Did you see that?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
people are like circling it, and it meant, I think it was like 14 inches over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, not all.
That's
not
still
a big.
That's
not a
still a
big
big snow
dump.
dump. I mean, will be for us,
Yeah, exactly.
not for like New York. Once I was in New York and it snowed something like 6 feet in 24 hours or something. I mean, I'm probably getting those numbers wrong, but it was definitely I couldn't find the car, and it all dumped in 24 hours. It was absolutely bonkers.
In New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my little cousins loved it. We just like went outside and like dug tunnels and stuff. It was great. Anyway, news.
Yeah, we have a lot of news.
Yeah, hard hitting news. Okay, top story today. The Supreme Court blocks the Louisiana abortion law. In a 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court has opposed implementation of a Louisiana abortion law, which would require any doctor performing an abortion to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. Opponents say the law would close nearly all of the state's abortion clinics. Chief Justice Roberts sided with the 4 liberal justices to oppose the law, which is nearly identical to a Texas law the court struck down in 2016. Justice Kavanaugh is in favor of the law, surprise, and he wrote a dissent saying that the new law would not affect the availability of abortions. Sorry, is that a joke? Okay.
I just like how he's like, nah, this is good.
Because we
I'm
write
wait-
reality
Yeah.
these days.
I'm waiting for you to finish because I have so much to say
Oh,
about
good.
this.
Yes. Okay. Justice Thomas Alito and Gorsuch voted to allow the law to go into effect, but they did not join Kavanaugh's dissent. In 2016, the decision regarding the Texas's similar law, the Supreme Court said the requirement for admitting privileges, quote, provides few, if any, health benefits for women, poses a substantial obstacle to women seeking abortions, and constitutes a undue burden on their constitutional right to do so. I like whoever wrote those words.
Yeah. So newsflash, you heard it here first, folks. Abortion in the United States is safe and have few complications. There's a new study that came out, and all these trap laws are really just designed to circumvent reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's exciting to see the Supreme Court. It's interesting that they took up another law that was so similar to the Texas one so recently, but it also...
Try again.
Yeah, I
Didn't
know.
work the first time. Let's try it again.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting that Chief Justice Roberts is continuing to side with the liberal judges.
Yeah.
I'll air quote liberal judges. I mean, they are progressive.
Sure.
You know, they're not supposed to be
liberal in comparison to the other side.
Yeah, and like, so I think this is exciting, and folks were really upset about him getting in because they didn't know how he was going to side on this issue, and it looks like he is siding with the law.
Yeah. Fancy that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you bring up the fact that we have, I don't know when this study came out, but that we have.
It just came out there's studies like this that come out all the time,
Sure.
but there's like this really comprehensive one that came out last fall.
Meta-study.
Yeah. And it was basically kind of broke down all of the different restrictions. It basically said the procedure is safe. The things that make it unsafe are all of the laws that are enacted to get in the place of people being able to access it,
The barriers we
quickly and affordably.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you say that it's safe, because I feel like, anytime you live with something for a long time, you end up taking it for granted. And I think now more than ever, people were not taking abortion, the accessibility of abortion in America quite so for granted anymore, because it's sort of been under threat for the last couple of years. But I think we forget what a privilege it is to have safe abortion. It's important to note that in all the studies that have ever been done, there has never been a correlation with putting laws up against abortion, making it illegal, putting up legal barriers, there being a drop in the number of abortions that happen. Seriously, think about that. There's no correlation. Making abortion illegal does not make people stop having abortions. It simply makes it extremely unsafe. And, if something is illegal, you're going to go somewhere, think about your choices then.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Roe v. Wade has been the law of the land, there have been different ways to chip at it. So it's like we have the right to have an abortion. So they're going to chip at it, your access, your ability to pay for it, your ability to get there.
Yeah.
Basically the ways that people can provide abortions, who can do it, and all that. And so now that they're starting to strike down those kind of limitations, that's really interesting. So if folks remember back when this happened in Texas, though, that state is huge. And basically it really was shutting down clinics. And so people were having to travel hundreds of miles or across state line to access. And they just said, that's unacceptable. You knew that this was going to shut clinics down.
Right, absolutely. Right. I mean, whatever Justice, or I guess Kavanaugh, who just said that the new law would not affect the availability of abortions. No. I'm sorry, then why are you passing this law? Like, of course it's going to affect the availability of abortions. It's
yeah.
We could go on forever.
I know. And I think it's just important to really think about when people are talking about why they're trying to restrict access, and they use this guise that it's for safety of women, but it really isn't. So when you think about a lot of places are supposed to have admitting privileges to hospitals, that sounds like, that seems like safe. But when you really get down to it and ask the providers who are involved, ask the health regulators if that's actually necessary for the procedure they are trying to regulate, and do they get that invasive with other procedures, you're going to start uncovering what is the real motivation here.
Absolutely.
Okay, we can move on.
Well, I think we're waiting on Michael Lesker from Talk Media News to call in.
Oh, right.
So we could probably talk about this for another minute. I mean, we could go on with this subject for a very long time. Women's health. We're watching The Producer. Sorry, sometimes I forget that we're not on TV. Except we are, because you can watch this on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
In
32 views. We both have brown hair with bangs. You would never know that.
Yeah, we both look like really awesome DJs. DJ Sunshine, DJ Gray City. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll come back with Talk Media News. This is X-Ray. Radio is yours.